Hi guys, so welcome to my channel. My name is Leah and my channel is called Heal with Leah because I am taking you along with me on my journey to body image healing and eating disorder recovery. So I'm already in recovery and I'm basically maintaining right now, but I'm super excited to share my journey thus far with you and also give you some support and maybe be a source of connection for those of you who are also struggling with your body image or an eating disorder. Anyway, welcome to the channel. So glad to have you here. Today I'm going to be talking about my eating disorder story. So before we get into things, I just want to mention that I am not a dietitian, I am not a nutritionist, I am not a licensed medical professional, I am not an eating disorder recovery coach. I am just a regular person who had an eating disorder, and this is my story. So from childhood, I pretty much feared gaining weight, and this was solidified through the media. I was watching like Nutrisystem commercials all the time on the TV, and I remember thinking like, I'm gonna have to use that one day because I'm going to inevitably gain too much weight and then I'm going to have to lose it. And for some reason, I wouldn't be able to do it on my own. So that was just what little me thought. I also was terrified of the movie Shallow Hal. I had to look it up because I didn't remember what the movie was called because I was so terrified of it. But it's basically about a man who falls in love with a woman who is really 300 pounds, but he doesn't see her like that. He only sees her as a thin woman. So that movie really scarred me. And there's all these other like stuff in the media about childhood obesity and stuff like that. So that really got to me and solidified a serious fear of gaining weight. And that's basically because of how fat people and larger people were portrayed. They were portrayed as lazy and incompetent and, the comedic relief for a movie. And they were somehow worth less than thinner people. And it was just seen as like something that just happened in life. You were just going to gain weight and then you just had to lose it, So I was just terrified of, especially me, but mainly like anyone gaining a lot of weight in a short amount of time. That freaked me out. And you see that all the time in TV shows like How I Met Your Mother and Friends, other TV shows where fat people are portrayed so negatively, and it just really solidified that in me. But enough about the media. So most of my family members were pretty respectful. Most of them didn't comment on other bodies or on their own bodies and never commented on, what other people were eating or tried to lose weight or anything like that. So it was pretty safe for me at home. But this one family member did comment on their weight and what they looked like and what they were eating, and tried to cut out certain foods from their diet to make them lose weight. And they believed that extra pounds means extra years lost off your life. So they really ingrained in me that being fat was unhealthy and having that extra weight was going to make you die sooner. And they also commented on what I ate every once in a while and, saying, do I need that? Watch what you're eating, all that type of jazz. This led me to believe that if they're commenting on their own body, and they also commented on my friends' bodies when they gained weight too. If they're doing that, then what's stopping them from commenting on my own body, either to my face or behind my back? So that was a real fear of mine. If I ever gained weight, what would this person say? And it was bad to the point where I would have dreams about this person commenting on my weight and what I was eating. So it was kind of like a nightmare. When I was in 6th grade, I had this friend who wanted to lose weight. And she told me about her plan to lose a couple pounds and was like pretty passionate about losing weight. She kept a journal. She was tracking her calories. She made sure she only ate certain foods. And that rubbed off on me, being an impressionable 12-year-old. I was like, oh, if she needs to lose weight, then I should lose weight too. And it was nothing more than that. It was just that I wanted to be a little thinner. I don't know why. I didn't need to be, but I started giving my food away at lunch to other students, and I would always leave a certain amount of food on my plate after I eat. I don't know why I did that. I don't know if it was some psychological thing that made me think that people would think I ate more than I did. But I don't know. It's weird because you'd think I would be a clean plater, but I didn't. It was something psychological there that I'm not sure what was going on. So that combined with Wii Fit, I don't know if you guys remember Wii Fit, you probably do if you had one, but they used to have daily weigh-ins or check-ins, and anytime you gained weight, it would make this terrible sound. And I just hated that sound. I was like, no, please don't say I gained weight. And oh man, I remember one time I got on the scale and was like, you lost like 5 or 10 pounds. And I was like, whoa, that's amazing. Like, I can't believe I lost that much. And then I went and told my parents, and I was really excited. And then they were like, why are you trying to lose weight? Like, what made you think that you needed to lose weight? And I was like, I don't know. I just thought it was a good thing. And they're like, no, you should not be losing weight. You're already like pretty thin. You don't need to lose weight. So this family member sat me down and told me that I had to gain weight. Like, I needed to eat more, and they were giving me permission to eat whatever I wanted to gain weight. And I was like, wow, this person who I'm afraid of commenting on my weight, commenting on what I'm eating, is giving me permission to eat whatever I want and gain weight. So this is like great. Like, I don't have to worry about it. They gave me their word. So I was okay with gaining a little bit of weight as long as I was able to, cap it at a certain point and not go above. Very slowly, I restored weight and never really had an issue with weight after that until college. So I've always been an athlete, and I had a great freshman college year at a D3 college running cross country and track and field. And I did pretty well. I had a coach who knew what she was doing and got me to a pretty fast time. I had a great time. I was basically on the top of the world. I was like, I'm doing so great. And then I got an injury. I had a stress fracture in my navicular bone in my foot. And it was partly because of an existing injury that I had gotten in high school, where I partially tore a tendon in my ankle. And so I had ankle issues there too, and I had ended up getting surgery on my ankle and was on crutches and in a boot for about 3 months. So naturally, I lost a lot of muscle mass and gained fat, as you would expect, because I wasn't really able to do anything below the waist. I would do abs, and that was it. But when it came time to start training again and when I could actually run again, I was very adamant about losing weight. I did not like the way I looked, and I wanted to become fast again. So I was like, the best way to do this is to lose weight, right? Build muscle, lose fat. And my dad was like all on board with this. He's like, this is amazing. I'm going to turn you into a powerhouse. Like, you're going to be so fast. And I was like, okay, awesome. So I started running, and I ran way too fast, way too soon. Like, I remember doing even like a couple miles and having it run be under 7-minute pace. And I was like, now I'm thinking like, that's insane. I don't know why I went out and just ran a mile under 7-minute pace. Like, that is not a maintenance pace for someone who just got done having an injury. It blows my mind. But I also was trying to lose weight at the same time because I thought that would help me be faster. So I restricted my calories and I restricted what I ate. And that helped a lot in the sense that it helped me lose weight. It also helped me to develop binge eating disorder. So I very quickly started binging, especially on peanut butter. I'd eat the whole jar. And I was aware of it. I was like, there is something wrong here. I don't have control. I'm losing all of my cognitive functions. Like, this is something that I have to do. It's primal, it's instinctual, and I can't stop it. And I told my mom. Thankfully, I did tell her. And she was very supportive, and she found me a therapist and we talked it through and stuff. But I didn't know the real cause. I thought the problem was binging. I was like, I just need to get rid of binging, and then I can go back to running and eating normally and staying at a preferably low weight. But that didn't happen because I didn't realize that the restriction was causing the binging. So, continued with the cycle of binging and restricting for several years, and never was able to stop because I was terrified if I stopped restricting I would gain weight. And I saw a nutritionist, I saw a certified eating disorder specialist, I saw an eating disorder coach, and nothing really clicked. Nothing really settled in that the issue wasn't binging, the issue was my enormous fear of gaining weight. So basically, I went on this way for several years and became kind of complacent with myself and with my life. I was just like, I feel like I'm never going to recover. I feel like I'm going to be binging for the rest of my life, which is a terrible thing because I didn't realize how selfish that was and how much I was impacting other people, including my mom and my now fiance. So, I'm very glad I got out of that place, but it was mainly due to a catalyst which happened at this point last year. And I was in grad school doing environmental engineering, and my mental health was at an all-time low. I have OCD and pretty severe anxiety, and being in the research lab was not helping that, and my eating disorder was also pretty bad too because of that. So I decided that I needed to take a break and stop doing grad school for a little bit, and then found my saving grace, which was I wanted to become an eating disorder recovery coach and help people heal from their eating disorders at some point. So I decided, okay, this time I'm going to take it seriously. I'm going to do whatever I can to stop binging, get rid of this eating disorder, and then everything will be okay. And you can see, I'm just going on the same cycle, right? I did not realize that the issue wasn't binging. The issue was that I was terrified of gaining weight and restricting. So I started going to the gym and running to lose weight and try to stop binging. And I did stop binging for about a month, but it quickly caught up with me and I started binging a lot. And, definitely compulsively exercising, only exercising because I wanted to maintain / lose weight. And trying to convince myself that I enjoyed it, even though it was insufferable. So fast forward to spring of last year, late spring, I found the podcast Full and Thriving by Meg McCabe. And that podcast, I'm so thankful I came across it because it made me question everything. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't think I'm going about this the right way. I think there's some deeper underlying issues here that I need to solve. And I was like, it would be amazing if I was able to be coached by Meg, because she's so knowledgeable and so bubbly, and I just really wanted to be able to learn from her. And I did. I was able to reach out to her, and she said she had a spot for coaching. So I was like, yes, I can finally be on my way and have the tools that I need to recover. I worked alongside her with an OCD specialist and my therapist, and we really zeroed in on the issues there of the fear of gaining weight. We challenged my fear foods, we worked on my food rules, and I also accepted the fact that in order to heal, I probably needed to gain weight. And that was the hardest thing to come to terms with. But finally I was like, you know what? It makes sense if I stop restricting and continue binging, because it was habitual at that point. I'm going to gain weight. There's no way around it. So I accepted that and entered probably the hardest period of my life, which was the period of weight gain. I brought fear foods back into the house, stopped all exercise, because basically any form of movement that I was doing was because I wanted to lose weight. Naturally, I gained weight. And that really was hard for me. It was so difficult, but I proved to myself that I'm capable of gaining weight and surviving and being okay. I faced my worst fear and I was okay. And no one said anything about it either. Like, I was so scared of people making comments about what I looked like and how much weight I gained in such a short amount of time. But no one said anything. So, it goes to show I'm very lucky that I didn't have anyone in my life who was not educated enough to think that it's okay to comment on someone else's weight. I'm very lucky for that, and I understand that. Also worked on dialoguing between my eating disorder self and my healthy self, or what I like to call my soul self, because, we use the term healthy way too often, and we're too obsessed with it. So that helped immensely, that dialogue, and I've actually gotten good enough to do it in my own head instead of writing it out on paper. And I will have a video coming about how that helped me as well. So also figured out what mental restriction was and how that was impacting me and binging as well, because mental restriction is when you are allowing yourself to eat the food physically, but in your mind you're like, I can't have any more than this. I can only eat this much, or if I'm going to eat later, I can't eat it now. So it's a whole other beast that you have to fight because it's in your head. So that I can also have a conversation on mental restriction too, and go more in depth. That period, as I said, that period of weight gain was the worst part of recovery, and it came to a peak right around last December, when I realized none of my clothes fit anymore. After going shopping, several times during the fall, and I went thrifting, and I hadn't been looking at myself in mirrors because that was triggering, and there was a mirror in the changing room, and I was like, oh my God, I don't recognize myself. Like, that's not me. And then I saw the number on the pants size that fit me, and I was like, this is not okay. I believed that I needed to lose weight again, and I was like, this is too much. I can't handle it. And really almost went into a relapse because of those thoughts. The eating disorder thoughts were way too loud, and I couldn't get a handle on them. But eventually I did, after talking with Meg. And this was right around Christmas time too, so it was like, everyone's gonna see me and they're gonna be like, oh my God, she's gained so much weight. And I was just so worried that someone would say something. Thankfully no one did. But I stopped myself from relapsing and went on my way, I guess. I came to terms with the fact that people may make comments on my body, and I have to prepare for the worst case scenario, and that's what I did. So Meg helped tremendously with that. I eventually reached a point where I am just maintaining recovery now and trying to start accepting my here and now body instead of just hoping and praying that it was all overshoot weight. I don't know if you guys have heard of set point weight theory, but I can get into that more in a different video. But basically it says that everybody has a specific set point weight where their body wants to be. And a lot of times in recovery, you can overshoot that and go above, and then your body will naturally bring yourself back down to your set point weight. And for the longest time, I believed that my set point weight was lower than what I'm currently at. And so I was just hoping that I could just stick it out a little bit longer until I start losing weight. Like, it's okay to gain weight as long as I can lose it in the end. So, but thankfully I'm overcoming that fear and accepting my body, even as it is very different from what it was before. I shouldn't say very different. It's just different. That's it. Overall, some days are bad, some days are good. And I, have bad body image days. Not nearly as frequently, but still, they're really bad. They're hard when they do happen. So, and I'm also learning to develop a joyful relationship with movement, right? Doing yoga, which is so amazing, and I'm so thankful. It helped me with my body image tremendously. Learning to listen to my body and make adjustments rather than trying to, white knuckle it and push through, which is all I've ever known before. And walking, I'm training my dog, Nim, to not pull on the leash finally. And yeah, I also think that people are right in saying that things get worse before they get better, especially with recovery. And it's really hard because you're losing coping skills that your body naturally used to help you survive. And when you take that away, it takes some time to get back to, a baseline. So, and trying to find effective replacements for those. But I will also have a video coming on my coping skills, which my therapist and I call my thriving go-tos, which I love. So I want to share this story with you guys to hopefully get you to know me a little bit. And talking about things really allows you to internalize them, right? So I think this is kind of like therapy for me too. Finally, I just want to end with, I am so grateful for the position I'm in today. I know that my privileges have helped me survive my eating disorder. And there are a lot of people out there who have it way worse than I do. I live in a straight size body. I'm not thin. I'm not plus size. I'm right in the middle, which I come to terms with, mid-size. I'm a white, cis, straight woman coming from a middle class background. So I had the resources and the money to get an eating disorder coach and to get a therapist and OCD specialist. So I really couldn't be more thankful for the position I'm in. And I just hope that I can help some of you out there who aren't as fortunate as me. And lastly, I'd like to thank Meg again for how much she's helped me. I'd like to thank my fiance, Evan, for being my in-house therapist. He's I could not have done this without him. He's amazing and such an incredible support for me. I owe him everything. And my parents for encouraging me and sticking by me and trying to help in any way possible. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, getting to know me a little bit in my eating disorder journey. And stay tuned for more videos. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, any suggestions for videos. Again, I'd love to hear them as I start out this journey. Thank you so much for listening again, and I'll see you soon. Bye.